Are you ready to party? Let's go.
My beautiful people, welcome back to the podcast. You have myself, Tim Fisher, Sam Komalafe,
Yo.
Danielle Cravat, and my man with the plan, Jordan Jamiola.
Hey.
I said it again. I said my
That
man
was,
with
I
the
know, you
plan.
said it twice, baby. I just want to throw it out there with the new hats.
Point to the camera.
Swag.
Get it on there. Is it close enough?
Yep. Get it.
Beautiful.
Get it.
I like that you went with camo.
Yo.
Yeah, I went with camo, and then Sam's got the black on black.
Yo.
And then we have another color that we'll be debuting
Yes.
with a couple of different changes,
Actually, yeah, there's a few things. If you can see in the background, we have our soundboards up. So now we are like,
Yo.
it's crisp
Yo.
in here. So shout out
Yo.
to Justin Steele for helping me build the studio out. And then also, we have a new logo, but we haven't shown it yet because we're almost done with how we want it.
Yeah, I would say it's like 98%. Almost ready to debut, but it's going to be sick. It's going to look good on T-shirts and stuff.
stoked, man.
Sexy.
We're coming a long way. That's good. I'm excited to get that on shirts and hats and drinkware and tattoo on my ass or something.
Yeah.
I think we should all get a tattoo on our butt. The new logo.
I'm down.
And I think it's just kind of funny.
I was
I'm
going to say
down.
Danielle will be the first one to get it done.
She's like, I'm in.
I,
Like,
I
all right.
told him, I'm like, we don't have to make it big. I'd do it now.
It's just a cool thing in general. So wait, so this month is September, right?
We're
is.
we're at the end of September.
crazy.
We're going to go over some of the wild stuff, even things that we've found out today.
Recently.
Yeah, which is really interesting. But thank you, Danielle, for putting together this list.
Yeah, the board is always so elaborate and elegant.
I know.
I try.
The
I
handwriting
try.
is very nice.
Really? Because I was telling him, like, do you guys understand this?
No, it's very legible. It's probably better than the three of us. So.
All right.
It works out.
Yeah, you're right better than all of us. But Jordan, let's start with Gabby Petito, right? Is that what we said?
Yes, even though it makes you want to say potato,
Very much does.
but it's not.
I originally spelled it that way.
Petito, and we're making fun of someone
Rest in
who,
peace.
yeah, rest in peace, because it's a horrible story, and we're gonna start out with some sadness, I guess.
Yeah.
No, anyway,
It's a big
so
story here in the U.S. right now.
It's a big story. It's got a lot of like online traction. I feel like most people, probably have mentioned it or kind of talked about it, and it's just kind of just one of those things where it's like, why was that important? Not that what happened isn't crazy, but like missing persons, kind of homicide, things like that. I mean, they take place pretty much every day and all over the United States. And for some reason, this case got traction to where it made the news, and like, kind of more important people are talking about it, things like that. And so anyways, yeah, it's kind of a crazy topic, but backstory on it. If anyone hasn't heard, we'll just give the abbreviated one. Basically, her and her boyfriend or fiance took a road trip from Florida to Wyoming or Montana or some.
Went to Utah, right?
Yeah, they
Lake
like did
Utah?
a big. Oh no, where's the place? It's Zion.
Yeah, in Utah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's where the video came out, where there wasn't an arrest, but someone called 911 for a domestic dispute, and there's like an hour and a half long video of like the cops' video camera, and like what's crazy about that is that if you watch that and like not dissect it a bunch, but it's like this dude's got like his face all like scratched up and like got kind of some like puffiness around his eyes and cheek. And he was saying like, yeah, we got into it. She attacked me. And like, you can see like while they were driving, like the car like pulls all over the road because she's like screaming at him to pull over.
Oh, the cops' dash cam, right?
Dash cam, yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so like when you watch the video, it makes her look unstable, like in my opinion.
Right.
And
Well, that's what I thought too.
okay, yeah. So like not saying like anything that she did that day doesn't warrant killing her. So let me just get that out of the way. But
I think
watching
even the person who called in was saying that that's what they viewed was pretty much her hitting on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the what was kind of weird, right, in the setback to the story, because apparently in the week after that, this dude comes home and she's not with him. Family either filed, I think the family must have filed a missing persons or something along those lines, right, because they were unaware of where she was at. Well, in the process of that happening, fiance/boyfriend gets a lawyer, right? And then there was like 2 days after getting the lawyer, bounce, like he's gone.
So that's interesting because he came. Oh, okay, so anyone internationally, shout out to what is it, India. For some reason, our downloads are going up. Thank you.
Yeah.
So anybody who's outside of the U.S. or even those in the U.S. who don't know Florida from Wyoming or Utah, that's more than halfway across the U.S., correct? If you're going to go from
Correct.
Florida to Utah up to Wyoming, that's a long drive.
Yeah.
So for this guy to come back all that way without her, not file a police report or call anybody, very suspicious.
In her van. Isn't that like
is that hers?
Yeah.
They don't I thought it was, they co-own it? Is hers his?
I've been hearing hers. I could be wrong,
Well, I didn't. Yeah.
but that's what I've been hearing.
Well, okay, even more so if it's hers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Comes back, gone. As soon as the family reaches out to him, files a lawyer, and then 2 days later, no one can find him now.
So sketch.
So it's like
He's not missing. Let's just say that. He's
Well,
not missing.
He's either dead because he blasted himself, or I was gonna say wash his mouth out with buckshot. That was a little cooler, but it didn't. Anyway, not that that's cool.
dark, dude.
Bad. I just mean, like, this guy's clearly an asshole if he murdered this poor girl.
Fuck, that's crazy.
And, it's like, okay, so they can't find him. They're not, like, what's
He
what's the
suddenly
next
goes
step?
missing. When he comes home, the first thing he does is get a lawyer and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And his parents take off.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
There
know
was
that.
one point, his parents leave. I think there's some type of records that they leave to go somewhere near.
So they went
And then they
camping.
came back. Yeah, they went camping. There you go.
Because I looked this up today because Dog, the bounty hunter, is now on this. Which at first I was like, "Oh, this could be." I know. How
No
can you not
wonder
laugh?
why his face came up when I Googled it.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Now, to me, I don't know if that's a publicity thing or if I don't know the backstory on him. He seems like he's a good bounty hunter. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's publicity, lies.
Can't question a mullet, Tim.
Yeah, dude. God.
Yeah, so Dog the Bounty Hunter's on it now, and he went back, or he's saying they went back to that campsite. That's how to solidify what you're saying. Yeah, they went camping for a little bit, which also is suspicious.
Odd.
And now I'm like, dude, the parents are looking bad.
Yeah.
They're looking
real bad.
I love my family, my brothers and sisters, but if like I had a kid and that shit went down, but look, I love you, man, but get your ass in the truck. You're going to police station.
Yep.
That's not right, dude.
Well, you can't murder someone ever.
I was like, where are you going with this?
No, I just mean
How is he
like,
gonna finish the
but
sentence?
I mean like there's no scenario that like plays out that it's like it makes it okay, right? So let's say okay, obviously you play the hypotheticals, right? What if they were arguing, she attacks him again because it sounds like that might be something normal, maybe, or at least during this road trip, right? Definitely not the first time. He says, "I've had enough," pushes her. And albeit aggressively, but like
Yeah.
launches her off him,
Yeah.
right? If she's hitting him with something or whatever.
He's like saying, fuck this.
She flies through the air because she seemed like a very small girl and hits her head on something and cracks it open and dies,
Yeah.
right? It's like a crime of passion. It's a horrible, horrible accident, and you have to own up to that because it's just what happened, right?
Right.
And now this is like how I'm playing it out in my head.
Which,
I was
yeah,
like, this-
hypothetical.
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like either way, it doesn't matter. However it went down, if you killed somebody, like one, I guess, yeah, run or, good luck. And if they find you, I hope they throw the whole book at you.
Well, think about
you know what I mean? But
how are you going to run nowadays? I mean, good God, there's cameras, social media, people with phone cam. There's no way to hide. That's my thought.
Is it
when I
that
see
how-
people running from the police and they're in car chases, I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
You're not going to get. You're
Nope.
extending your freedom maybe by 10 minutes, but is it really freedom? Because you're caught.
Nope.
I mean, what's the quality of life of this guy if he doesn't get caught, right?
I mean, isn't that how the call-in started? Because there was a driver who saw her like hitting him, and that's how the 911 phone call got called. Is somebody saw them?
Right.
But I mean, so I actually posted something kind of similar to this whole story on my story on Instagram, and I had a few people message me. One that was a guest on here, and
very nice.
and she was she said something to me like, "How can you cover up like that?" And you know what? I sat there and thought about it. Like, okay, one, obviously this is terrible. Like if my son came to me, but me having sons,
Yeah.
I gotta sit there and really think. Like, would I really jump to turn him in? Like, that I'm trying to look at it
Well,
more as a mother's point of view. Like,
True.
obviously you fucked up,
Right.
but
right.
you're right. The parents look god awful right
Well,
now.
if you think about it, their lives are pretty much ruined from here on out.
Oh yeah. No
It's-
matter which way they go, whether they got involved or not.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what that person's saying. I mean, I love my family. I don't have kids, but it would be a tough thing to do. But man, murder? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you took a life. Like, I love you. I would I don't know. Maybe I leave, but hey, we'll get some gas. If I could call police and have them come to the house. I don't know. But
I don't know what I would do. I'd be, to be honest,
you got to
with
think
you.
about this though. Doesn't that make them accessory to murder if they start
Yes.
finding out that
Right.
they hid him and did all? The whole family's going down.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, well, at least both the parents, if they
Yeah.
would be embedding, or is that embedding? Is that the word? I don't know.
Aiding and abetting.
Aiding and abetting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that
you're right.
sounds way
Yeah,
more.
sounds good.
Yeah, this is better than what's coming up in my head.
Yeah,
so.
I was trying to look up something real quick as far as oh man, I was trying to look up something. We were talking about like how do you like survive, and I was like, it made me think of like the gangster Whitey Bulger, like
right.
popular Boston gangster, right? Like from the 40s, 50s era. I mean, that guy, or maybe it had to been the 50s because they caught him in L.A. like 8 years ago. As like an old man, like he ran
How long
away.
was he?
and hid out.
How long was he free for? Like 20 plus years, 30 years?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he
whole lifetime.
He made it, like pretty much until he was a very old man.
Right.
And it was kind of like because when you're thinking, like I would think, man, you're on the run, like you're probably nervous all the time. He ended up like just cracking later down the road. It was like that dude just, I'm good. That guy probably killed
crazy.
hundreds of people. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Well, I'm wondering if does this guy? What's his name? Brian, right?
Yeah,
I mean, do you think you're really gonna get away?
I know.
I mean,
right?
come on.
If they could
How long are you gonna
find,
hide, you know?
If they could find that Adrian kid's murderer from just shooting from the freeway, you're gonna get caught.
Right.
And he's not missing. He took off. He's
Oh,
not missing.
Yeah.
So there's a movie called Queen and Slim. Have you guys seen it or heard of it?
I have not seen it.
No.
So that movie, the entire movie is about being on the run after shooting a cop. And the cop, he basically pulls over a couple. I don't want to move this into a different direction, but he pulls over a couple, and then he gets in an argument with the guy. He hits him, and then the girl, he hits the girl, and then the guy pulls out the cops. They get in like a scuffle, and then the cop's gun goes off, and he dies, and they
Cop
run.
ends up after getting in a scuffle over like interaction from the cop and his girlfriend. Or
Right.
whatever. Oh, jeez.
And then, and then they're on the run the whole time. So I was thinking about the movie when you mentioned where you're going to go, and they end up going to his uncle's house, and his uncle's this big drug dealer.
there you go.
Right, exactly. So he stays there, and the movie, it goes into, they end up getting caught, but they're only on the run for I would say a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
But so to your point, how long are you going to last? And
Well,
then
yeah.
somebody, the person that you wouldn't think would do it, ended up,
Snitching.
yeah, dude. And then at the very end, it was theatrical as fuck, but it was crazy.
Too much work. Just dust
Yeah,
me off.
right. Yeah,
Well, you got to think. I mean, because all your bank transactions, when you buy stuff, even when you pull money out,
yeah. No,
dude, I don't know.
You have to have support.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. This is just speculation, but the way his parents are acting, it's almost like they could be supporting him.
right.
Doing it. Now, that's just. I'm not saying that innocent until proven guilty. That's how we run it in this land. But a lot of things are not pointing towards innocent.
It doesn't look good.
No,
For
and it's
sure,
sad
yeah.
because whether there was an argument or not, or she hit him, it still doesn't give you the right to kill somebody.
And then
There's so many ways out. I've been in
Right.
shitty relationships. Now, I'm not saying I was like hit by a woman or any of this stuff, but you know when you're in a shitty relationship, right? What does Dan Cook call it? Relationship. I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
Have the balls to be like, all right, it's fucking over, and
Yep.
walk away, right? Because if it gets to a point where you think about murdering somebody, damn, that's like hella toxic.
oh yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
why? My thought is, why are you going to risk your life and your future over one person? And that might sound cool, but breakups happen, divorces happen. That's reality of life. Maybe you're not meant to be together. So if you start seeing those signs where it's toxic and you're arguing or whatever it may be, leave.
Yep.
It's okay to start over. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? I'm not meant for you, or you're not meant for me. It's time to move on. Because now what we have, right? You have two families ruined forever. One person's dead. It's like those families will probably never recover. I have a brother that was killed in a car accident. You guys have lost loved ones. I had a friend this past week who passed away in a skydiving accident, right? When the person's gone, they're gone. There's no recovering from that. That shit hurts. Now you got a family who's lost their daughter, and to really say Brian's family, they're going to lose their son.
Yep.
And they may lose themselves as well. They might go to jail. But you got to think, there's just so much fallout from that one. It's like, you guys just, I'm saying, like, if it's not good for you, it's okay to start over and break up.
Right.
If you're in a toxic relationship, get out of that shit right now. Very good.
You have years to live.
Very good.
Music.
Years to live.
It's like that's where I want the more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I say this only because if you look at their lives on social media, they paint that picture, right? We've all talked about this.
Yeah.
Where everyone's always putting out the best.
Yeah.
Right? We got to live up to that. But you'd never know what's happening behind the scenes with these people.
Yeah.
So in reality, if I were to look at their social media, I'd be like, fuck, they got it made. They're doing it right. But behind the scenes, there's a bunch of turmoil.
That happened to me this
It's
week.
fucking crazy.
I found out some info about somebody who I follow on Instagram who's a friend of mine who I don't see in person. And I was just like, not saying.
We cool. Yeah.
No, we cool. We cool.
Yeah. I talk to you all the time.
That's Samuel Marie. But anyways. I'm sorry. I love throwing middle names on everything.
Yeah.
Sorry. And for men, for whatever reason, I do female middle names.
Yeah,
And
that's cool, I guess.
for females, I do male.
You also feminized my first name, but that, I mean, whatever.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I was like, your middle name is Marie.
You stupid.
No, man, it's Michelle.
Timothy has a long name. If I'm upset, it's like Timothy David Marie Lynn. Listen to me.
What's yours? What's Jordan's?
Jordana Marie Lynn. All right.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you up, but yes.
Anyways, let's go back
the
to
friend you were
normal.
talking to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, what were we talking about, Bettina? Oh, I totally just like
that's
brain
okay.
fucked. Sorry.
I think that like what you were saying earlier, you like that segue? That's pretty good. No,
I'm sorry, Chris.
just while you're thinking of it, I was just trying to buy you time, dude.
Tim put too much whiskey in my drinks.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I'm sorry, I made it.
No, and I agree with what
double.
with
It
what
hit
you're
me
saying.
midway.
No, but I'm trying to remember what you were talking about. A friend, right?
Yeah, and it had something to do with the Gabby thing.
She in a toxic relationship.
Oh,
that's what we're
yes.
talking
Okay,
about.
there we go. Somebody who I follow on Instagram, and I see their stories, and then all of a sudden I started hearing like what was really going on. I was like, oh fuck! Like I would have never known. That just shows how much people cover up on Instagram.
Right, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
It brings up you bring up a good point, right? It's almost like maybe they should have broken up. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe they should have, but it's like, well, we have all these followers and we're doing this instant. We got to keep this fake persona up.
Yeah.
Fuck your persona.
Yeah.
If something's not good for you, end that shit. Get out of it. There's so much life to live. It's okay
bye.
to start over and break up with somebody. Now, I've been there. I've been in a toxic relationship. And I remember thinking, oh, fuck, I'll never find anybody like her, this and that. I remember just being like, it's over. It's done. I think I was like 20 years old. Boy, I
Totally
was so
get it.
fucking happy.
Yep.
I was so happy. What?
I was just gonna high five.
Oh, high five it.
Big time.
I was telling Jordan I was fucked up. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
High five, but then I almost said it like that.
Yeah.
No,
But anyway,
but you're right. I mean, like that's the thing is that like no matter what the scenario is, no matter how bad things get, obviously if it's going to end in that manner, you should have jumped out like back before Zion happened when they got pulled over. And like I think that people do fight and people can get aggressive and people can be emotionally aggressive towards one another. And I'm not saying that that's normal, but I'm not saying that's abnormal either. But there are certain extents to it. I mean, if it's ever crossing your mind that you want to like beat the shit out of somebody physically, there's a difference between feeling that way and doing it. I'm not saying feeling that way is even wrong, but like, you know what I mean? Like when you start crossing certain thresholds and like, we don't know how long that's been happening.
That's true. That's a very good point.
So if and like, I'm not saying like if something gets physical or whatever, or as the woman that wants to do that to someone, you know what I mean? Like I everyone's got a different reason and I'm not analyzing that part of it. But what I'm getting at is that we don't know how long that kind of stuff has happened. Maybe this was the first time, or maybe it was like the first time that day because it's been going on for the last 3 weeks as soon as they left the car. And this dude is just like on wit's end. And I'm not trying to defend this guy in any shape, way, or form. But that guy, if that's what happened, should have had the balls to say, hey, this is over. I'm going to drive you back home. We're done.
Question.
Yeah.
I heard something about him being like like he was diagnosed with some type of
Yeah, both of them
schizophrenia or
had.
something like
It was
that.
like schizophrenia and.
which is already a bad combo
But
mix.
so here's the thing, though, is that they said it was like schizophrenia, but then I heard there was something about like Adderall or something that maybe he had been prescribed, and I was like, I don't think that like they'll mix psych meds with those kind of meds, all right? That with like
I took those in
ADHD,
college.
stuff like that.
for
It's
test
common.
days.
Ritalin, Adderall. Did you study really good?
I did.
Here it does. Very well.
I was like,
yeah.
it probably worked because you're a smart woman.
Yeah, all I'm getting at is that, like, who knows what the backstory really is? Who knows what the medical history really is? Who knows what really happened? All we can do is speculate, and the number one thing is this guy looks like he did it.
Yep.
Like across the board.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the backstory is. It doesn't matter. There's no feel sorry for me moments. There's no, like, he can even come out now and be like, listen, you guys have no idea what I've been through. Blah, 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 blah. Goes on for an hour talking about.
Doesn't matter.
I was just saying,
Moral-
doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, be like, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how bad you felt inside. The reality is, for some reason, you had something to do with this girl dying, and all we can know right now is speculate that you did it. Right? Now, if it was, but see, that's the other thing too, is like, to me, let's say it was something super like random, right? Be like, no, we literally were roasting marshmallows. She went up to take a piss, tripped, and fell down a cliff. Right? And then everyone's still going to think that you killed her.
True.
Because that's just what it
Touche.
looks like. It's just the two of you. It's 2 against 1, and now the other, your alibi is dead.
Right.
Right? So everyone's going to speculate that it was you. But at least you can come forward with a guilt-free conscience of at least showing people that you're like, I didn't do it. I would have never wanted this to happen, regardless of how much shit that you hear about the recording and all that stuff. But he didn't. He didn't do any of that.
I think, I was going to
like,
say.
I'm going to get a lawyer and I'm out. you know?
I was going to say, if something like that did happen, the first thing I would do would be calling 911.
But I think that's
right?
I think that's really easy to say though, because the anything you do besides call 911 is the wrong thing. Like literally anything you do,
Yeah.
you better the phone needs to be dialed
Like
now.
every second you wait,
Right.
it's going to go against you.
Literally every single second. Like your future depends on that phone picking up.
And they're like, how come it took 3 minutes? You're like, dude, we're in the middle of nowhere. and I got fucking
bro.
sprint.
Exactly.
I had to walk for 6 miles to pick up service. And I was
right,
like,
no.
believe me, try it.
Still.
First off, I've been in Zion. Yeah, you get no service.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, firsthand.
Yeah, I think that it's a bummer that this happened. Hopefully, if anyone could take anything from the story, is if you're in a toxic relationship, get out. It may be hard. It may seem like your world is over. You need to find a place to live, but there's so much more for you out there than being in something that terrible. You don't know what it's going to lead to. And there's a lot that's probably behind the story that we don't know. Again, he's innocent until proven guilty, but there's a lot pointing towards him right now. It looks pretty fucking wild.
Same with his
It
parents.
took me 45 seconds to come to the conclusion that I felt very strongly about.
Yeah.
Now,
Now,
here's
here's
not cool, but
something
whatever.
I do want to ask you guys, though, is this story has taken an interesting turn. God, somebody came on TV and was like, well, how come no one's made a big deal about this missing person and this missing person? They were minorities.
Oh.
Really interesting. There's a geologist, a young man. He's in his mid-20s or late 20s. He's been missing for like 3 months out in the desert somewhere. And it's like, well, how come they didn't make a big deal about this one?
Touche.
There is, I think it's in Alaska. I don't want to speak wrong, but she is of Indian type of descent, and she's been missing for 3 or 4 months. How come no one's made a big deal about it?
Yeah, I'm hearing that they're turning this into kind of like, because she's pretty and white. Let's
Right.
focus on this.
Right. Well,
And
it made me
not-
think a
yeah.
little bit. It kind of, I sat
I mean,
back,
it's real too. I
Right.
thought about that too.
and I was thinking, I'm like, well, that's a good point. At first, I was like, what the heck are these racist people doing? I'm like, wait a minute. Think about this here. That guy's been missing for 3 months. This Indian woman in Alaska, she's been missing 3 or 4 months. How come that hasn't made major news? Now, devil's advocate, is it because this story has a little more media flair to it, meaning
a
somebody...
little more drama.
That's what I was
Right,
gonna say. It's
somebody
dramatic.
drove back this amount of days without their person, their girlfriend. They were supposed to be up here doing this. It's all documented on Instagram, social media. They're kind of popular.
Yeah, I think
whatever.
she has a little bit of a following, though. So it kind of
Yeah. So
drew in. And I'm not saying that's why, but, but you're right. I mean, and that's the thing. I'm sorry. I totally just cut you off.
No, you're
Go
good.
for
You're
it.
good. You're good.
Oh, sorry. And I was just saying, but
I love your eyes.
that's hey, thanks, dude. No, but that's why this was interesting. I thought from the get-go, because when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, so it's like 2 white kids go on a trip. There's a potential murder.
Right.
Like, who the fuck cares? Not that, like, who cares because it's sad, but, like, why is this a headliner when this shit happens every day to all spectrums across the board, dude? And not to mention, like, kids that go missing and things like that. I was like, if we really want to speculate of where we're at right now, it's like, unless it doesn't have a cool backstory, you know what I mean? Then it's not important, because that's what it kind of seems like, right?
That's what it is.
Right.
Dude,
Exactly.
You know?
the border right now, which I'm surprised I didn't throw up on there, but
And I was like,
yeah,
we're not going to talk about the
yeah.
border. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's what's going on
Yeah.
there, though.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on there right now. And I actually have a cousin that works Border Patrol too, and it's just like spiking up like crazy right now.
Well, that's
And they're all different races, right?
Yeah.
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 There are Haitians there.
Yeah.
They're a bunch. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I just bring it up because it made me think. And I actually sat back I remember thinking, oh, shit. I mean, they kind of bring up a valid point. But if we were to run like everyone who's went missing, that would be in the news 24/7, right?
You know, that maybe someone
what I'm
would do
saying?
something about it.
True. But then I also think, I'm like, well, okay, why are they picking certain missing persons to put in? But it's also, you think about everything that's happening in the media. The media is the one pushing the shit hard, right?
Right.
They're the ones who choose what's going to go on TV or not.
Is it a distraction?
Well, I don't know. It seems like a lot of things are distractions right
Yeah,
now.
a
Don't
lot
be
of-
going down that deep hole.
Oh man, that is deep.
Very
too.
deep. But I always wonder. It's just something to make you guys think, and people who are listening think, you're like, that was an interesting point. Not to take away from Gabby's family, you know, what's happening to them right now, but it just makes you wonder, like,
but I liked how
why-
you. Sorry, go ahead.
no. It's just, well, how come we haven't talked about the other people who've gone missing that are minorities? That's, you know, it's just a question.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder. But if you think about big media, again, it's playing devil's advocate. They're the fucking ones who choose what goes on the news, who doesn't.
Right.
What's going to be sensational? What's going to get views and pull people in? What's clickbait? What's going to get people so we can get more money, more ever? You know what I'm saying? You start thinking about all this stuff going on. You're like, fuck, I don't even know, dude. This is
I
not
always
me.
think if you follow the money, you get your answers.
That's straight true.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Sam?
No, I was just. All right, interrupted me, motherfucker.
And Sam, back to you.
The best part is I immediately looked at Jordan like,
Because you know Jordan's ready.
who else has 70% of that?
Right. No, man. I forgot.
No. No, that's actually a really interesting. That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because right. Because it's like, okay, and especially I find it like, because like even playing devil's advocate, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, how come? God, how do I say this? Because it's like we were saying, like how they're like, okay, so it's like because it's gotten so much publicity, it's because it's a white chick,
White girl. White
right?
couple.
White, blonde, blue eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, wouldn't you think that like the mainstream media would push the recognition on someone non-white as opposed to going through this? Because like we were saying, there's many missing persons reports every day that come out, and it's tragic. And there's a lot of shit that goes on that we don't hear about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why would you pick and choose these certain things? And like, because like, why is that even a potential question? Right? Why do you key in on this white girl, but not this African American girl, Hispanic girl, Asian girl, whatever?
Right.
That there's plenty of probably similar style cases. You know what I mean? But that's the one you highlight. You know, I don't know. It is kind of weird.
Yeah, and I bring it up. I'm not looking for an answer. It's just it got me thinking.
Yeah, no,
that was the first time I would say first time, but I heard something, and I was like, oh shit, you kind of have a point here. You know what? How come we're not talking about all the murders that are happening in Chicago right now? I always bring up Chicago because it's fucking wild over there.
It's every weekend, dude.
Yeah, it's
Every
crazy,
weekend.
and the kids being murdered, shot and killed. You know, how come this isn't making the front page news of the media, but then a girl goes missing, Caucasian, but that's front page news. Again, I'm just sitting here weighing things out.
Yeah.
It just made me think. I was like, oh my God. I mean, that lady had a point.
Well,
That's very true too.
I'm not saying it's racist, but you're just like, that was a strong point.
It's like going back to what you said about like the shooting stuff, right? There's been 300. Well, this is as of like 2 weeks ago, but there was 378 children under the age of 12 have been shot and killed in the United States since the beginning of this year. And there's been, but most people probably know that there's 200 and something kids that have passed away from COVID-related scenarios. You know what I mean? So it's like we're just highlighting what's one more important thing than the other.
And a high percentage of those kids already had leukemia.
That is
Just
also,
throw that.
yeah, either way, terrible, you know.
Yeah.
But are we all doing a picture?
Sure.
No, but
Not everybody knows
yeah,
the podcast.
I was like, hey, sorry, that was a quick photo take. Yeah, no, it's just I don't know the timeline of what is highlighted, what's important, what's not important. I kind of lean on the thing where I feel like everything's a smoke screen. But that's just
really
because that's
feels
the,
like
that's
it,
the
right?
conspiracy side of me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's like, okay, well, why is like
Okay.
this came out of nowhere, and this is like the number one important thing when we're supposed to be finding out either this whole vaccine mandate thing's happening, all this other stuff is happening, and it's like these are like. Not to take anything away from losing a life, but I'm like, there's some big shit on the docket here, and that got propped up relatively fast. It's like, why?
I mean, I'm
What
going to be
about it?
honest with you too. I didn't even think about that until I saw I don't know if it was a meme, but it was something like it showed Gabby's picture, and then it showed like a cartoon figure in the background of like, I don't know, it would look like a Hispanic girl and with like a red handprint over her mouth. And I really didn't think about it until I saw that. Like, you're right. There is so many other missing people going on right now.
You know how many other
And-
families
yeah,
are
yeah.
going through that? Missing their daughters, their
Yeah.
sons, whatever it may be. So it's an interesting point. It makes you kind of think and wonder, but you brought up something good. We don't have to hit on the border crisis that's happening right now, but the smokescreen that media brings up. Did you guys see the picture of the Border Patrol agent on a horse?
Yes.
And what
Yes.
media put out he was doing that was not true.
Very not true.
He was riding his horse, and he was trying to keep people away, and he was using his reins for the horse, not whipping people.
Right.
New York Times stated he was whipping immigrants.
Wow.
New York Times came out today and rephrased it. Said
What
he
they-
was riding his
He was
horse.
wiping immigrants.
Yeah, no.
misspelled
Well, yeah,
whipping, sorry.
pushing immigrants away. Not using the reins to, he wasn't using the reins to whip them.
Right.
But if you see the full picture shows him riding, doing his thing, getting the people away. They zoom in on that one spot where it's him on the horse and the immigrant, and you see that fucking leather strap.
Oh.
And it's blowing this whole different story. And now they get their horses taken away. It's just what you said. What the media is pushing, people are believing. It's like you're not getting the whole story. Here's the whole picture. You're getting like 10% of that picture, and they're changing it into what they want.
Right.
I think it's complete bullshit. That is wrong. You're messing with these guys' careers and their jobs, and they're just trying to do their job and protect the country. But it gets spun into something else. That's why when I bring it up, because when you say the smokescreen, the media, and the news, you're like, I was thinking too. I'm like, fuck, what can you believe?
just gaslighting.
Yeah.
And as a
100%.
horse person myself, watching that video, I knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't whipping anybody. Like, I mean, I've actually just started riding more routinely just this last week. And me being familiar with that type of stuff, it's like I knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't whipping at all.
When I saw that in media, it just bummed me out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, are you guys trying to tear down everything this country is trying to do to even just like protect this? And these guys doing their job.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's very. There's a lot of negativity associated with law enforcement and border control,
Yes.
right? And that's that's not a new thing. That's been going on for a while now. So whether you are a believer of strong borders or you think everyone should just have the ability to come across the border, whatever your stance is on that, that's fine. But just know that either way, there has to be some regulatory force that makes sure that people don't like kill themselves as they're coming over the border or
Right.
going through the process.
Right.
Right. And I think so when they're like, everyone's a hater on Border Patrol, it's like, okay, well, they're trying to do a job of protecting the American citizens. And I'm not saying that they have to, I'm sure there's bad Border Patrol agents, just like there's bad everything else. You know what I mean? But I think overall what they're doing is they stop drug flow coming into the country at a pretty good rate, I would say. Like hundreds of thousands of tons of drugs get stopped all the time, like every year, basically. not hundreds of thousands of tons.
Yeah,
So much cocaine.
Oh, I was like,
But
man,
it's yeah. I'm like, how?
are they selling it now or what?
Yeah, Border Patrol agents always have the best parties. I'm just kidding. I don't know any Border Patrol agents actually. But anyway, I just it's like it's already a tough subject matter. But when I saw that the picture, and I saw I know exactly what article you're talking about, because when I saw it, I went, really? I mean, like, just that guy's like full, like serious face swinging what looked like a leather strap. But just the angle of it looked terrible.
Yeah.
It was a still shot. And what was going on, this person's like, oh, like, don't hit me, you know what I mean? Or like, because he's probably trying to dodge the horse or getting corralled to stop from just running over into the country.
Right.
But like, that's what gets said. And the irony behind it all is that the person who took the picture was like, yeah, I was there. Like, that didn't happen at all.
I know.
Like,
oh my God, I
What
read
do you-
that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, basically like, who knows what that guy's stance is on anything, but the reality was that he at least came forward and was like, nah, they weren't beating anybody like coming across. They're just like, hey, you can't enter the country illegally, and it's not like if you have there's 100 guys and five Border Patrol agents, and you're like, hey guys, you're not allowed to do this. They're probably going to run over you. Because that's just, they're like, fuck it, I don't want to like stay in Mexico or come from wherever they're coming from, and they want to get here. So they're going to do whatever they have to do.
The media is just like, bag them and tag them. Let's just herd these sheep in, bag them and tag them. That's all I think about when I see them.
Well,
put
just
their stories up there.
Again, it goes to why we talked about even last week. I don't have any of the news apps or anything. Because who do you believe? Who the heck do you believe now? If they're going to take that picture and spin it that bad, and now those media groups like New York Times and a few others are having to retract and take those statements back because it's not true.
Isn't it New York Times has had to retract back numerous times just in the last year?
Yeah, they've been messing up. Man.
There's that's what I don't get more than anything is there's no hiding anymore. There's so much proof of fucking up, and people are still trying to justify it or just be like, oh, like it's like, what more do you need to see?
Well, it's almost like lying is not lying. If
Yeah,
they say it happened,
that's exactly what it
It is
is.
what it is. Yeah, it's. I'm kind of thinking, like, how much farther are we gonna go with this shit? That's my thought. It's getting to the point where it's sickening. Like, come on, you guys, this is too much.
What about what's going to happen at midnight tonight?
Ooh, well,
Yeah.
Danielle, why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Well, Timothy, what is it in New York?
Well, Timothy,
In New York, supposedly, what is it, 70,000? That should be canned by midnight tonight for not being vaccinated?
we are
I don't know
on
I don't
the
know
West Coast.
Yeah, I don't know
So
the number.
It's 9.
Midnight New York time.
Yeah, it's pretty much 9:30 right now. So they're 4 hours ahead, right?
Yeah, so it's probably 3 hours.
I have
So it's getting close to midnight, but as of midnight, the vaccine mandate is going to be in full effect for healthcare workers in the state, or I think it's just the city of New York.
Yeah.
Either way,
I don't know because my mom, who is a nurse, actually was tripping like the last week because she was rushing in just to get her second vaccine because she was afraid of being canned herself. And what sucks about that is she is somebody who's had COVID twice already. And her antibodies are shooting through the roof. So actually getting the vaccine made her really sick, actually, because she's so impacted with it. And it's just so unnecessary. But that's just my thoughts on it. But I think it's ridiculous because a year and a half ago, they would take anybody who was willing to help them. Anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But now all of a sudden, to me, it just feels like that's how not serious it is.
Right.
If you're willing to can that many people, it can't be that bad.
Well, here's just a thought. Is it a power grab?
It's a huge power grab.
Yep.
It's a whose dick is bigger grab is what it is.
Well, okay, so they're saying if they lay off these 70,000 healthcare workers, right, they're going to bring in the National Guard, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
okay. So I don't know. I didn't hear the number 70,000, but it was just unless you guys heard that. If that was something that came up, I know it's a significant amount of people that they're banking on not being able to show up to work tomorrow because of the mandate. And is it the governor, right? Because Cuomo, he's the one that stepped down. It's the gal that replaced him. There was a press conference. Anyways, she was talking about how they're going to try to set the standard for the rest of the United States on the vaccine.
Can someone
status.
Google how many that was? Because I was looking at
Right
the because I was looking at the board and I was
I don't. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't.
I'm like double because I do know that Biden, as of I think it was today, announced that any company who employs unvaccinated is looking at fines anywhere from 70 or set from 7 to 700,000. So I'm like hoping I didn't mess up my numbers. So I was just
$7 to 700,000.
no, from 7,000.
I was like,
anywhere from 7,000 to 700,000.
Oh, okay.
Fine
wow,
businesses of employing unvaccinated people.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
heard of
great.
that as of actually on the way here. So yeah.
That's pretty gnarly. Like, cause like even cause with the whole New York scenario, right? So it's like if they're let's say 30% aren't vaccinated, right?
Which is pretty possible.
Which might be possible in a state that or in a city that would. It seems like you'd probably have a higher amount of vaccinated people in that city.
Yeah.
Which is great. Okay, cool, right? But if you have 30% that's not, and if you have 30% of the workforce that isn't out there, let's say it's 5,000 people. To 6,000, 7,000, somewhere in there. We're saying for the whole entire workforce of healthcare, right, in the city. If that's the case, the governor is stating that she is going to call upon the National Guard that are obviously have to be some sort of training in nursing or whatever. So like a National Guard medical professional, I don't know. That's the best way I can say it. But going to get them to come and work and take the spots. Like by tomorrow? Is that what's going to happen? Like
They're already on their way.
Hey, we're short-staffed today. We got rid of 30% of our staff, and so-and-so also took the day off because they're going on vacation, and we're just waiting on the National Guard to get here, or otherwise we can maybe treat you.
I have a quick note on that though too. Actually, since you mentioned the military, I think this was part of the notes that I had for last time we were here, but I messed them up because I was on my way here, and like they were throwing out numbers of how many military men weren't vaccinated, but only like 30, like an insanely low amount were actually like infected or had passed.
Oh, really?
So to me, it's like, what does that say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it says that if you do your own research, however you want to handle your status should be up to you. That's how I feel.
That's exactly how I feel.
Whatever that research is, whether you want it or you don't, but your choice is your choice, in my opinion, and that's where I feel like we should stay at. So it is crazy that now we're getting bigger government influences, bigger government. The fucking president is saying to do it or they're going to fine you. Right. You know what I mean? Or at least do what? What's the one thing that what the government can do to people that like won't send you stir crazy to where you're going to go shoot up places, but just beat you down morally? They take away your ability to make money.
Exactly.
Right? They're not forcing you. No one's coming down and holding you down, but they're holding you down financially, and that's one of the biggest digs you can take in life. And
it's a good time to be my own employer.
Yeah,
I'm really happy I did that at the time that I did.
So so it'll be really interesting. It'll be see what happened. I mean, like to me, like I would think, like if I was one of those workers who didn't want to get vaccinated, and I got fired, I would be protesting tomorrow. Like first thing in the morning, I'd be out there with my fucking sign, and I would walk around all day.
I think there's going to be
what I mean?
I think there's actually going to be a nurses strike October 1st to the 10th, actually.
Let me clarify this. I would peacefully protest all day with my sign. I just want to... It's on camera.
But I don't know if it has anything to do with vaccination. I just know this from my mom who works at Kaiser. And she was pretty much just saying, I got to stock up on money because here there's a protest starting this time and we're not going to get paid. So,
well, it's here. The best way I could say this is that for the group of people that were highlighted by allegedly putting their lives on the line, dealing with the frontline workers of the hospital staff and nurses and doctors and everyone who was out there that was willing to sacrifice themselves around this pandemic, okay, that showed up for work, that didn't, and they did what they had to do, and they did all these crazy, protocols and all this stuff.
Worked exhausted hours.
And they're still there, willing to work and doing everything they can to provide the service to help people in the community, which they have. I'm assuming that you got to like what you're doing to stay doing that job. You know what I mean? And now those people can't work because they don't want to get vaccinated. I don't know. I find that crazy. Like a little bit, like just a lot. Like I know I'm probably sounding really stupid right now, but you know what? I feel like, please convince me otherwise. That's all I'm saying. Like,
what's funny too is that whole natural immunity came out this last 2 weeks, and Israel, I believe, was one that did a study on that if you've already had COVID, the chances of you fighting things naturally, your natural immunity is stronger than you actually getting the vaccine. So actually other countries are starting to back down on mandates because of this study. And so I think it's kind of funny that when they asked Fauci about it, he was all very much like, oh, well, I don't know. I got to look into that. Or, oh, I got to see the durability. Well, okay. Well, fuck your durability if you need fucking boosters already.
Yeah, like I would just, I don't know why that guy wouldn't have a pre-plumbed answer for that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, by the way, someone in the media is probably going to ask you your
Isn't that something you should already know?
Pretty common, or at least common sounding.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, I gotta see what I'm being told to say. Hold on.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So on USA Today, this is what I found. If USA Today, if you guys listen, no, we're not. Anyways. Hospitals reported 84% of their roughly 450,000 workers were vaccinated as of Wednesday, up from 81% on September 15th. That left the future employment of about 72,000 hospital workers unclear, though many hospital policies appear to allow workers to get vaccinated through the end of Monday in order to retain their jobs.
So it is 70,000.
That's a shit ton of people.
Yep.
Like I said, if it was as scary as they make it, you would not be firing that many people. You would not.
I'm 100% on board
because
with
a year and a half ago, you would take anybody who was willing to help you.
Nurses, heroes, fire heroes, all that stuff. Now it's like fire them.
I know. I saw all the commercials. There's all these tribute commercials. Every other one, there's like, we gotta love our healthcare workers. They're out there risking their lives. And then they're like, now they're going to be on unemployment, or maybe won't even qualify for unemployment, because that was the other part of the shtick, is that if you don't get the vaccine and the mandate, that if you file for unemployment, they won't grant it to you because you're refusing to take the vaccine.
Yeah, that's one of the articles I just read.
Which,
you're 100%.
I don't want to make it sound anecdotal, so look it up. It's out there, and like that. It doesn't.
I just think if something's that legit,
does anyone just care about our ability to make our own decisions?
I think if it's that legit, why do you have to force people that much? Why do you got to bribe so much?
Well, I think we already know that.
Yeah,
they sold. They're all in. Everything out of our control as far as government entities is all in.
Tag them and bag them. That's all they're doing.
And that's it.
Right.
That's what they're doing. Tag them and bag them.
How many of you guys think will actually get it now that it's being that their jobs are in jeopardy? Do you guys think half or like a quarter?
That's a really good question, because we're running into that in SoCal right now with some government agencies.
Right.
So some government agencies, they're saying their first responders. One like LAFD put something out. I would say between in SoCal, there's probably over 1,000 first responders that do not want to take it. And probably more, right? 1,500, 2,000? I don't know.
You're talking about one city.
Well, I'm talking about all of them, because you got
it's probably well, think about it. It's probably 40% right now.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's a big amount.
Okay, so let me even if I'm wrong, we'll say 30%. We'll take a real conservative number, but of people that probably don't want to get it, and that's all the agencies of all the care providers and responders and everything. Which I'm not speaking on anyone's behalf, so let's get that real clear here. Just as these are rough numbers. But if that is, I agree with you, Sam. I think of the number of what it is, it's I don't know if I'm agreeing with you, but to answer what you're asking, is I'd say a quarter. It'd be a quarter once it reaches to the point of where New York's at right now. Because if it all came down to it, and they were like, you're losing your job and you won't be able to collect unemployment and you're basically fucked, unless you get the vaccine. Even the most staunch anti-vaccine people for the COVID vaccine will probably buckle because it's your livelihood, right? You know, depending on where you're at in life, like if you're closer to retiring.
My mom caved.
Well, but I'm not talking crap on those people because I understand you at the end of the day, you're going to have to do what's right for yourself, your family, whatever have you, your well-being.
Yeah, she's pinned in a corner.
Right. And so is that fair? No. I mean, no, it's not fair to be told that you absolutely have to do it, especially it wasn't a part of you getting hired, like pretext, which is like pretext. That's not the word. Damn it.
Sounded professional to me.
It's like the pretext. Before we get hired.
Still be on it. I was like, all right.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
anyway, all I'm getting at. Yeah.
There we go.
I'm giving it a bell.
Hey. Yeah, no, it's just a crazy scenario, and it's unfortunate because like I don't want to like. I feel like I'm only upset at the fact that they're telling us that you have to do something. You know what I mean? Like to the extent that it's going to limit your ability to function within society. You know what I mean? If it's just like they're like, hey, every single day you should eat 2 Flintstone vitamins because it's got vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D and all this other shit that's going to help you. You should take this because it's going to help you, right? I still feel at the end of the day, I'd be like, I just don't like fucking Flintstone vitamins. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do other things to put myself in a position to stay either protected or healthy or whatever, but that should be my decision of what I put in my body. And that concept is now deemed like a crazy person thought process because you're not just getting with the program. And that's the part that I have a really hard time with. So it's like, I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm not anti-this. It's just, I hate the fact that it's like, like if like 1 in 5 people died from this, I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. Slam it, go for it, and I feel like most people would be like that. But it's like if there is enough research out there and there's enough numbers to where you know yourself and where you fall in those categories of hazard or risk, you're going to have to make that decision for yourself. And that's being taken away. And that's what I think is crazy.
I wonder how many people, you're right. I wonder how many people actually believe in the mandate. Like, because I don't know, a lot of the people that I like, where they're like, you know what?
Sadly, too big of an amount.
Right. This needs to happen. And all you people that aren't getting it, you guys are, pieces of shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I know it's huge, but is that number, does that not justify, but Biden's push? Does it equate to the push that he's?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to say no.
Right.
Only because we have the freedom of choice.
Exactly.
We can go over this all day and say, I'm tempted not to go here, but I am, right? The whole abortion thing has made people pissed off.
Yep.
Woman's body, her choice. Cool. Well, then what the fuck happened to my body, my choice when it comes to a vaccine?
Touche.
That's my thought.
Yep.
So I don't care how many people believe in it or not. It is your right to choose what you want to do for yourself and your family, your body, all that stuff. No one should be able to tell you you're going to have to get this.
Exactly.
Straight up. I just don't. I don't believe in that. And you bring up a great point.
They don't force you to get the flu shot.
No, they don't force you to get the flu shot.
And just as many people, if not more, die from the flu. So,
what country was that has deemed it the flu? Denmark.
Or no, I'm sorry, Norway. One of those.
Okay,
Scandinavian
right.
places.
I was
That
gonna
came
say
out like yesterday or
also-
today.
Yeah.
They also have 0 cases of COVID, right? Is it Denmark or Norway? One of the two.
It's like crazy low.
It's ironic.
Whatever it is, and they're not. But it's like that place. It's like you got, like the population's down, spread out a little bit. It'd be like taking a swath of like North Dakota and using that as the national standard.
I got you.
What it is.
I feel that.
It's just, and like maybe that's a bad example. I'm just trying to. You know what I mean? Because like I hate to be like, oh, there's that one country that had one thing go their way, and it's like, well, they might have just been super lucky.
No, proportions mean a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I'm not saying like, again, the numbers. Like just look at the numbers. They'll be like, yeah, there's a lot of people that got it, and it's horrible. And I don't know. I feel fucking bad even saying it like that because I don't want to take away from anyone's experience with this. Because losing anyone that you're related to or whatever is fucking tragic. And if we could do things to help us out and make things better to limit it, I believe in that too. But I don't necessarily mean that has to be the vaccine because I can't get one person to tell me like if I wasn't if I wasn't vaccinated or if I'm vaccinated and you're not vaccinated, how come you're endangering me?
That's a good point.
You're not.
You're
That's
not,
the
though.
point.
And there's no, I haven't heard a scientific approach to that question. I just heard no.
You know what I tell people?
You're endangering people if you're not vaccinated.
You know what
it doesn't make any sense. If you're vaccinated, then what? How does that even matter? Like, and if anything, if I like for me as a vaccine, as a vaccinated person, you would be like I can carry it and then give it to you. So if anything, like I'm worried about you because like you're not vaccinated, and then like I can give it to you. Not saying that you are or not, or me either. I just mean like, I don't know. It's a weird
I always tell people if you can make it make sense, I'll comply. And I still have had not one person make it make sense. And I've also asked a few people through social media, like, hey, no, I'm genuinely not trying to start shit or anything like that. I just want to know, what's your take on this? I genuinely want to know, because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm the one missing something. I normally don't get responses back.
I would say that's probably that seems to be the norm.
Yeah.
Or like you're just dumb.
Yeah.
Right? Because I get that a lot too. I get dismissed as like a simpleton. Like you're like, that's just Jordan. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I hate that. I know. It's such bullshit,
I'm
dude. I fucking hate that.
8 times out of 10, I'd agree with you. I'm like, I may not be as informed on certain things, but there are a couple of things that I was like, I actually feel like I can debate this stance quite a bit. And, at the end of the day, I'm always willing to change my mind. I always want to gain new information and gain like a new like perspective of stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's like how you learn. But I feel like it's really lacking in that argument.
You know what trips me out is I'll sometimes have people message me of the opposite beliefs of what I think, but I know these people pretty well. I've known them for years, and to me, they've never been somebody who I've thought was like a liar or just made up anything. So sometimes when they tell me stuff like their experience, I immediately believe them because they've never been that type of person to me. So why wouldn't I not believe them? But it's funny when I share my experience with them, like for instance, how my voting experience went. I feel like I'm suddenly not believed. And I'm like, when have I ever been somebody to you to just like make up stories? And that's how I look at things. You're not somebody who's ever been like a liar to me or just make up things. So why shouldn't I not believe you? But I think vice versa when I tell you my experience with things. And that's just one scenario. I've had multiple experiences with other things along the line last year. And I just feel like it's just amazing to me. Like, do you just suddenly think I'm just making up shit? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the response.
Yeah.
Though. And then and that's the response of either side of the viewpoint. I feel like for a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
It's like if you're against it, as soon as when someone tries to make an argument for it, they're like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And then, or vice versa, right? You're like, no, look, you don't need it. Da 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 da. And they're like, you clearly are an idiot and want people to die.
Right.
You're like, wait, what? Okay.
I just walk away and say, bag them and tag
I'm
them.
like, hey, I was like, agree, disagree. But the problem isn't that it's that flagrant. It's not an easy conversation. It literally is driving people and families apart from one another. And that is sad. It's just sad.
I'm blown away with how many families are being destroyed by all this.
Well, it comes down to, what's good about this country, or I should say great, is we have the freedom of speech and choice. And I feel like that's being infringed upon. I 100% believe the government right now, with our current administration, they are going to push the limits as far as they can go to see how much we can comply. They know that I 100% think they know they're infringing on your freedoms, but they're trying to see how far they can push that shit.
Of course.
So it's all, hopefully going back to you, Sam, your question about the people supporting it and Biden. I don't know if that makes a little bit of sense as far as what I said. It's like,
yeah, big time.
People can support it or not,
right,
but it's your right as an American to choose.
Right.
And I feel like that choice is being taken away, and that's constitutionally fucking wrong.
Right.
That's not how this country is set up and how it's supposed to be. But it's going down a route, and I said before in the podcast, we're hitting a tipping point where you're going to go over that peak, and there ain't no fucking coming back. You're going downhill this whole other destination that's not good.
Yep.
Anyways, I don't want to go too crazy
No,
on that. But
Yeah, I was like,
You're
no,
right.
Tim, go.
Oh,
You're
man.
right.
Go.
Yeah, man.
Do it. Do it.
You know, through the years, we're in our 30s, whatever, but through the years, we've had Republican presidents, Democratic presidents. And whether you support the president or not, we should always push that we want them to do well. They're representing us, and, fair or not fair, they're in there, right? But when you get someone who's in there, and now they're infringing upon your freedoms and your right to choose what you want to do with is being injected in your body, and now they're going to say, well, we're going to take your job away.
Doesn't matter who it is. What
Doesn't matter who
president.
you are.
Yep.
It's like, wait a minute, what?
Right.
How is that even right?
Right. No, I was saying it doesn't matter what party president
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah. No, fuck them. Yeah.
Well, I personally, look at Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we can start talking about that right now. Nicki Minaj is taking some serious heat, and I commend her.
Same.
I freaking
Same.
love it because she's actually stepping back, and it's almost like, and this is my personal, opinion on this, but she's not going on any political side right now. She's just like, no, fuck no.
Right.
She's got bigger balls than most of the people out there.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
I freaking love it. And then
Love it.
the other day, Rihanna, did you see the shirt she wore the other day?
I did not.
No.
Tell me about it.
Jordan?
I'm shaking my head yes because I saw the shirt, but I don't remember exactly how it.
Oh my God! Could someone look it up real fast?
Sure.
I think her shirt said something like,
So it's something for the while it lasts. It says
Yeah.
something while it lasts.
"Be able to make your freedom of choice while it lasts," or something like that.
Yeah.
I love too that I feel like they're intimidated by Minaj because she's black. Because they really got to watch what they say now because it's very much like, do you preach what you sow?
Well, they took down her. Was it
Yeah.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Right. When I saw that, I thought no one's safe. Nicki Minaj has a following. Be it she's a rap star, right?
Right.
She's got a huge following. Now she's going against the flow and the agenda of what the current administration wants, right? They're in bed with all the tech companies. Boom, pull her.
Easy. Right.
I hope that was a wake-up call to so many of her fucking fans.
Yep.
I really, really do.
Yep.
Because it goes to show you, it doesn't matter who you are, they will fucking shut you down as fast as they can if you don't align with what they want.
Yep.
That should have been a huge wake-up call for people.
Comply.
I'm really shocked at how many people are still denying like all this because it's like there really is no hiding right now. Like they're throwing it right out there. How many times has like Fauci backpedaled on so many things he said and still like people are like holding by everyone.
Well,
by
they
the
all
way,
have, yeah.
by the way, I do have Rihanna's shirt pulled
What
up.
her shirt say? Bring
It
it up.
says,
up.
"Think while it's still legal."
Boom.
Boom.
Thank you, Rihanna.
Yes.
You billionaire
Thank you,
beauty.
Riri. And she's black, if some of you guys didn't notice. So, just saying.
Oh my God! But you see them wearing those shirts.
I'm so happy that they stepped up.
I love it.
So happy.
I love it because it's like they're speaking truth. They really are. They're standing behind what they believe. It's like, this ain't right.
yeah.
And to me, a lot of I would say they're probably left leaning, which is fine. I don't care what you believe in. But for them to step up and go against the flow, I respect that. I may not agree with her opinions on a lot of things, but I have a lot of respect for her because it takes some freaking guts to do that. Guts that a military doesn't have, guts that politicians definitely don't fucking have, and guts that a local government doesn't have.
She's risking a lot.
Oh, shit. Yeah, she's
Risking
risking
a
a lot.
lot.
Risking a shit ton.
And I like that her followers now are now backing her. So it just shows how much more is actually. I was actually telling somebody recently because somebody was messaging me normally because they were following my stories and they were saying stuff. And I said, you know what? We have to wait it out at this point. We literally just have to sit in there and wait it out because these celebrities who have big platforms, sooner or later, they're not going to be able to handle it
they're gonna
anymore.
catch on.
And they're going to all come out.
hell yeah.
I'm starting to see it more and more. Some of them, maybe they're not as big as some A-listers right now, but I've definitely seen some more with some platforms starting to speak up more, saying like, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. And it all started with Nicki
Shaquille O'Neal.
Minaj. Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal came out, yesterday?
Something
I
like
think
that.
yesterday,
Yeah.
he's speaking against it.
And it's ironic that they're black, right?
Thank
Yeah.
you. I mean, I'm
Right.
like,
I mean, there's a reason why they're saying Hispanic and black are low with
I
the
was gonna
vaccination
say,
rate.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but the government has fucked them up before in the past.
The government has
so
used them as
they don't.
pawns.
Yeah, they don't trust their government.
To Tuskegee.
Almost, there you
Project.
go.
Sorry.
Get it out.
I was like, I
Yeah.
was like coughing as I was saying it. I apologize.
Yeah.
No, I was just chiming in. Sorry.
No, yeah, that was big, dude. Yeah.
Tuskegee Project. We should go. We should have an episode on that one.
Tuskegee. You guys
Experiment.
know what it's about, though, right?
Yeah, man.
They're giving people
Yes,
syphilis.
but yeah, I don't know.
They were
like,
trying to say that it was the vaccine for it. Well, they were just using people as like placebos and then
Exactly.
giving it to them and having to kill a shit ton of people. And they're most predominantly African American young males.
Right.
And
So syphilis became,
right, and then prevalent in that community at the time, crazy outbreaks and all that stuff. And it's like, well, they're like, oh, is it they push, they're like, oh, because African American community can't find the free vaccine. That's the reason why they're not getting out there. It's like, or maybe they don't fucking trust you.
Yeah.
Which to me makes the most sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And anyway, so it is.
If you're
neat
giving
seeing these
away
celebrities.
donuts to get a vaccine, then there should be no problem saying, oh, because it's not available to them. No, that's fucking bullshit. If you're giving away donuts, it's available everywhere.
Well, I'll tell you what. I do believe the African American community is waking up. Al Sharpton and some other leaders in the community have been speaking up to Biden. Like, you're not living up to your word of what you said you were going to do for us.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time, and it's not to sound. I'm not racist. My mom's black. My dad's white. What I've seen historically is that many political parties have used minority groups as pawns in their politics to get in and then fucking shove them to the side, and nothing happens. And that irritates me to death because they're just getting it for the fucking vote. And then when they get in, nothing happens.
Isn't that politics? I mean,
yes,
It's true.
yeah,
Yes.
right.
Speaking of vote,
Yeah.
Way to
didn't
go,
you
Sam.
say something?
Sam, give it up. Come here.
Woo.
Let's go, baby. That was good shit.
Speaking of votes,
Whoa, wait, what are you?
Uh-oh.
what did Newsom also just say about our votes?
Oh, that's a cool segue. So as of tonight, he put out a tweet. I'll read it to you guys. So this isn't. I'm not.
I like how a
paraphrasing.
tweet is actually like
It's like the new quote
the new
status.
announcement. Yeah.
Like,
The
hey, did
new
you read it in
break-
the paper? No, it's all.
The new breaking news, dude. They
Yeah.
tweeted it.
That's the best I got.
Twitter.
So it says, "Hey, this is Gavin Newsom here. I suck." No, I'm just kidding. That's all I got. No, it says. It says.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because he sounds dumb. Have you heard him talk? He's like,
He always
Tries
sounds
to be
his-
like Batman.
Well, he always sounds like his voice is going out. But doesn't he sound like he's losing?
1970 Buick over here.
Yeah, but doesn't he sound like his voice is? He's losing his voice every time he's talking.
Yeah,
First off, calm down. You're not Christian Bayo.
right. He wishes. Anyway, so the tweet is that it says just made vote by mail permanent. Which means every registered voter who will receive a ballot in the mail for every election.
Oh,
Unlike other states, California is working to make it easier, in all capital letters,
to cheat.
than ever before to vote. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, that makes the most sense to put things in a position to where it'd be easier to manipulate stuff to get whoever you want to win. So I'm not saying that there's all widespread cheating. I'm just saying that there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of speculative points, at least from the last election. But with his recall election, he won by a major landslide.
Don't you like how he had more votes than
But he did
before when he was
originally.
a golden boy?
Yeah.
That's when he was like golden boy status. There was nothing wrong with him then.
He actually had a
And supposedly he had more this time.
Yeah, he actually out got the
joke.
votes that his initial election was to get in office at the time. Like you were saying, he was a very pushed politician coming up. Kind of doesn't at least no dirt was out on him really at the time. And then he got more this time after governing the state, which you can make the argument that we're in a worse position than before he got in.
The best part too is I actually know I like a good half, like I was raised definitely in the middle. I had one side of my family that was very Republican and one side that was very Democrat. So I've always been an in the middle person. So when I have met people message me and they're like, oh, well, because of Trump. And I'm like, first off, let's backpedal. I never once said I was this huge Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with a lot of things on both ends. But my main point was, just so we don't get too off, I'm hearing of a lot of Democratic or left people very unhappy with him who voted to get him out of there. So it's like, how in the fuck did you get more votes this time?
Apparently 7 less million people agreed with that stance. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, is that it's like, okay, I mean, I feel like the real answer to that, like if you had someone who really was like going to break down the financial endeavors and what it really means to take someone out of office and put someone in there, what's the probability that new person in there is going to be able to do anything in the short amount of time before that time would be over, before there's another election, I would be like, okay, it probably does make sense to just like try to stymie this dude's ability to make any more legislation and just let him term out and then get someone in there that's new, right? I feel like that's kind of like I get that part of it because everything takes money and it's extra money out of taxpayers' pockets and da-da-da. You make that argument. I just don't think there's that many people who really look into it that deep. And there's people that are like, hey, fuck this guy. Let's get him out. Okay, hell yeah. Or then there's people that are like, he's not too bad.
I really think it's
but apparently, per the number of votes, there's a lot of people who didn't give a shit. Well, actually, like there was only 14 million people that voted, 14 or 15 million people that voted. There's 33 million people in the state of California. So I'm like, there's that many people who just didn't find it that important to get out there and vote.
I think it's my dick's bigger than your dick situation. That's what I really think it is.
I don't know.
And then I wonder, like, the difference between the amount of people that were, that voted for him the last time, the amount of people that were in California the last time versus this time, where they, what states they came from, if they came from out of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like I said earlier, proportions are huge. And the differences between, not just, who was here. And there's so many different things that, thanks. Yeah.
It's just me turning and looking at you like,
Yeah, right. I was like right here, bro.
Exactly what was
Right here. I'm like, yeah, man. Oh, right. I'm talking.
perspective is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have reached over, but I didn't want you to see my arm.
Thank you. But yes, proportions are big, bro. Yeah, they mean a lot.
Well, it was I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of the current governor, and I have my reasons, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just how I feel personally. I was a fan of Elder. I thought that was kind of cool. I've listened to a bunch of his stuff over the years prior to him even being a potential political figure.
Apparently, he's a racist.
I found that to be the most entertaining part of it, hearing
We can't
a group of people saying that this man is either he's an Uncle Tom or what was the blackface of white supremacy?
Yeah,
was
something like that.
The slogan I was hearing.
Dumbest shit I had ever
like-
read in my entire life in a fucking newspaper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Elder's from
unbelievable.
Compton.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. Then he gets attacked by a woman wearing a monkey mask and gets egg thrown on him.
Nothing said. Nothing said
happened.
about that.
Oh, white woman.
Where's
by the way.
BLM?
Right.
Where's all these people protesting about how racist everything is?
Flip flop
God.
bullshit. It's unfucking believable, dude. If that were to happen to Newsom, the world would be ending right now in California.
No.
Mark, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Mark
There'd
my
be
words.
riots.
Mark my words. California's going to turn to a state where it's rich and poor. Middle class will be gone one day. The way what's happening and how they're taxing us and all this shit going down, I'm just saying that will happen one day. Whether it's sooner or later, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting what's happening in the state.
I mean, I've been communicating with a realtor for the last month, pretty much, and it's super competitive in other states that we're looking at because of everything. And
Everyone's
it's like,
leaving?
doesn't that tell you anything?
Yeah.
Like,
You want to know what's crazy too? Is the company like Zillow, like they're trying to buy up like a ton of properties right now. Like, I don't know if you know this, but you can go on Zillow and they will make you an offer on your house in like 2 weeks. They'll have someone come out and assess it, and they'll probably give you a higher mark than what it's saying that your house is worth because they want to buy it.
oh,
Now
Did you know that? What?
I did not know that. I should look into that.
So
That's very interesting.
It's super interesting.
Okay, so
And
for
I was
people-
actually thinking, I was like, if this thing says my house is worth like twice as much as it should be worth,
Well,
I was like,
real quick, Jordan. So people who know that are listening, Zillow is an online app and website where you can look at houses that are for sale. You can sell, rent, you can buy, all that stuff on Zillow. So anyone listening, Zillow is pretty much like a platform where for trading and selling homes, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, like Zillow, Redfin, Trulia. There's a bunch. There's a couple of different ones, but Zillow and Redfin are like the two big ones. So to have like what I would perceive that as such a large company, an online company being able to do that, but they're going out there and trying to buy up real estate. I find that interesting. Like, what are they going to do with it?
But a lot of corporations are doing that.
No, but is it to make rentals? Is it
Yes.
to buy out everything and
Yes.
make everyone rent?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because that's
where the money is.
That's where I was trying to funnel this conversation.
Hey, my guy.
But,
I got you, babe.
Because I think that is inevitably how you can control the people, right? Because there's going to be the rich. The rich people are always going to be able to. They got a lot of money. They'll be able to live where they want, buy where they want. They're like, yeah, my house is. I bought this place for twice what it's worth, but I bought it. And then they still have like 2 Ferraris and a Porsche and all this other stuff. Like that money is no problem for those people. Which, damn, I'm jealous. But good for you.
Bag them and tag them.
But for the rest of like the middle class economy, if it gets to the point where the average median income is only making, let's say they're making $100,000, because like in Orange County, the poverty medium income level is $80,000 a year.
Disgusting.
Isn't that crazy?
Orange County, if you make less than 80,000, you're poverty.
It's considered, right?
So crazy.
But if you think about it, what's the average cost of a home in Orange County?
Oh,
It's
fucking
over
750.
Yeah, I was like,
750.
It's over 6. Conservatively, it would be over $600,000, and I'm talking maybe an area that you wouldn't want to live with your family or whatever. Like take that for however
You would
want
need
to take it,
like
but-
at least 120 at least for a down payment.
Right, but
for
the
some-
average family is not going to be, or person. I don't even need to say family, but the average person is not going to be able to provide that.
No.
Working a
Which is why
regular income
most
job.
families in California are dual income, and they're still struggling.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. I mean, let's say they're making $70,000, $80,000 a year, and they're saying that's below or right at poverty line, right? Poverty. How are you going to afford a home that's probably a fixer-upper for $750,000? And then you got to put money into it and fix it up. On top of paying your bills, feeding your family, paying insurance, gas, food. It's unreal.
Let's not forget too, with everything going on. For instance, like in my case, my kids are in private school. Because
Well, that's another bill,
because of everything.
Correct.
Originally, within the last year, my goal was to have them out of private school and in public school closer to where I live, so I wasn't having to commute as much. But because I never know when another shutdown is going to happen or where we have to do hybrid schooling or Zoom schooling, I don't have that luxury.
Right.
I got to work. So I got to pay the extra amount to have them in private school knowing that I could continue working.
And
that's only going to go up.
Right. I think we're going to see a lot more people leaving the state.
Oh,
California.
a shit ton.
lot more.
A shit ton.
Yeah, it's going to be to the point where it's untenable. If they, if that I think it's if the stimulus or whatever, not stimulus, but whatever bill they're going to pass. I'm trying to remember when it is, but I know it's going to raise our taxes in California over 55%.
It's disgusting.
How the fuck is someone supposed to pay their mortgage, feed their kids, get them clothes, pay their bills, get all the stuff we need in SoCal on top of taking half of their fucking pay?
I get so grossed out.
How is that supposed to work?
I mean, I make a pretty good amount just on my own,
Right.
and my husband makes a good amount, and it's disgusting of how much we have to hustle still
Yeah.
just to pay our house.
Think about it.
Yeah.
I remember thinking at 18 years old, man, if I can just make $100,000 a year, I've made it.
Yeah.
$100,000 a year is probably
Is
less
nothing
than 50
anymore.
grand now
Yeah.
in California.
Nothing.
How are you supposed to make it? On top of how high prices are for homes, we just talked about Orange County. What about insurance bills? All that other stuff. People don't think about that. And I'm like, that's why I say in California, you're going to have rich and then you're going to have poor. There's no more middle class.
None.
It's going to fucking annihilate the middle class. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to be around for that shit. I'm the same as you. I'm like, man, dude.
And that whole
I'm looking at
pushing
places like, I get the fuck out of here.
and that whole pushing tax the rich, these people don't realize that the rich actually pay a lot of our taxes already. And they're the ones who could afford to just bounce.
Right. You know what?
So realistically, all you poor people are going to be the ones paying even more. And they don't
Correct.
realize that.
No one knows. Oh my God, I know. And it's like, I wish people, I'm like, do you see the writing on the wall? Do you freaking see what is happening? It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And I feel like people are going to get to a point one day where they're going to wake up and be like, what the fuck happened? Oh my God, I can't believe the government's doing this to us.
Yeah.
Well,
You've been warned.
All right. But that's everyone. I mean, that's always the case, right? Is that as soon as something happens and it's drastic,
Right.
now all of a sudden everyone's going to backtrack and wonder why. Why did it happen? Why are we like this? What's going on? We're like, well, we as a society let things go for a long time. And I think that, and it sucks because, like, honestly, if we had to pay 40% of which is pretty much there now, but if you had to pay 40% of what you make now, but there was like a shit ton of better stuff going on in society, people are taken care of. There's, the streets are clean, whatever, the infrastructure, the schooling prices are down. There's more outreach programs for inner city stuff. Whatever it is, whatever it makes you think that what your tax money goes to, that you see something tangible of something getting fixed, then I would say that you can make the argument for it.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
100% agree with you.
But that's the problem. So even if taxing, like if it was like, because everything always gets brought up about those like kind of Norwegian countries, they have like a 61% tax rate, right? And that's across the board for everybody because they're paying a shit ton back. But if you look at it, they actually distribute into their societies pretty well, right? So there's this like happy-go-lucky, like, we do our part and we pay into the system and the system takes care of us, but it's still a little bit capitalism, but it's a little bit not. It's a little bit of everything. And they seem to have this little program going for them. The problem is here, it doesn't work like that. It's like we pay a very high amount of taxes. Now, I know there's people that be like, well, did you know in 1942 we paid 48% tax rate? It's like, no, I didn't know that. But things are different. The amount of income, cost, inflation, all that shit is all relative. But I say that because someone brought that up to me the other day, and I was like, I actually didn't know that, and here's why. But the problem is, I think, is that people would actually feel like their money was doing something for society, where you felt good about giving what you earn into society to, like, if you could see it. The problem is I don't see fucking anything. And it's like, you want to talk about infrastructure. Well, there's the same potholes I fucking jack my truck tires up on all the time. They never get filled. And I know these are just stupid like examples, but you know what I mean? It's like, but I really honestly feel like, if the push was to increase the tax rate, is if it had a more drastic impact on things that people could see that were tangible, you might have a little bit more acceptance with it, other than just saying, hey, we're going to raise your taxes. And you're like, our taxes are already fucking high. And I don't see anything good being done with the money. Not once. I don't see anything.
It's disgusting. Me personally, I'm kind of looking into Idaho right now. And my husband's looking into...
You're the reason you're driving the price up over there.
Yeah, kind of. And my husband's already looked into his pay, and he's getting like a $15 pay cut an hour. Okay, from what he gets paid now. But the disgusting part is once we put in the tax differences, it was really only $100 difference in his weekly paycheck. That's disgusting.
That says enough.
Yeah, exactly. This reminds me all of like the Lulu LaRich documentary going on. Like, unless you got in early, so unless you made big money years ago, then it doesn't affect you as much.
Right.
But like nowadays, it's like, well, fuck. Like I have to admit, like just in the last 2 years, I've really like skyrocketed my income because I became my own boss. I started my own thing. But I almost feel like, dude, I'm making this much a year, and it almost feels like there's nothing to show for it. Like,
oh, it sucks.
yeah, because it's like, God, if I didn't do it when I did, I'd be struggling. I'd possibly be losing my home right now. I wouldn't have my kids in private school, like, etc.
Yeah. Off the record, I'll tell you guys how much I paid in taxes this year. It's fucking stupid.
That's insane. I don't even want to know.
I know. It's unbelievable. I'm like, dude, I could use that fucking money.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
okay, so on better news, let's talk about Tiger King 2.
Yes.
Season 2. Is it season 2?
Yes, part 2. We're definitely having a second documentary coming out.
Let's go, people. Okay, so people know, if you haven't seen the first Tiger King, would you say documentary or series, Danielle?
I don't know. I think
series?
I would say docuseries. Yeah.
So it's docuseries. I would say I think it was 6 episodes. I can't remember. I watched it so long ago.
I want to say I thought it was 10 episodes. It was a long
I think
ago.
it was 10.
It literally got 2019 people to be able to hang in there. That's what we all grabbed.
I was going to say Tiger King was the glue that was holding us together. I would say the world during the beginning parts of the pandemic, because it was so out of control and incredible that it was like You know, we can wait on this pandemic. Is this guy fucking for real right now?
Yeah.
I went to some Tiger King parties too.
No.
Yes.
You would.
Man, if you could, I would.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. But, I know from season 1, Carol Baskin, bitch.
She's not happy right now
She was
either.
not happy about the second one coming
No,
out either,
she's
right?
not.
Because the first one made her look. How would you say it made her look? It didn't make her look
Terrible.
Yeah,
She
terrible.
looked like if there was a land of Karens, she was the queen.
Dude, she
was number
killed
one.
her ex-husband.
Oh hell yeah!
I know it's not. Wasn't convicted, or they didn't go to court. But I
Do this.
just the eye test of seeing someone talk so highly of themselves and how good they are of a person. I'm like, typically those people have a lot to hide, and in this case, she was kind of like. When they said if you were hypothetically gonna kill somebody, how would you do it with the tigers? And she's like, it's really simple. You just put sardine oil all over him.
Yeah,
And it was and her husband went missing, and they never found his body, and he was some rich dude.
That's odd.
And then she's just cruising.
I bet I bet you she's a fucking freak in the bed though. She's probably
You
wild,
would bring
dude.
that
Yeah,
up.
she'd be like, if you don't do what I say, I'll have these tigers kill you.
All you cool cats and kittens.
Oh man, she's the most cringe type.
I've got a shirt that has a tiger on it, and it just says "Carol did it."
yeah.
I wore it to the San Diego Zoo.
She could probably clear a chicken wing right down to the bone in 2 seconds, bro. She's fucking
Damn.
wild, bro.
Hey, don't judge though, because I could do that. I
God
could do
bless
that.
you, Chris.
I could do that in one.
We're talking
One
about
swallow.
eating chicken wings or what?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
those are real
Yeah,
wings,
some
by the
wings.
way. None of this boneless shit.
Danielle, you already have a bunch of dudes that are falling in love with you. This just probably solidified that.
Get it?
I think when did it say that was supposed to come out? By the way, the second season for Tiger King.
I'm not sure, but I do know she told the producer she wasn't happy and to lose her number because she did not consent with this. So
Damn.
Really?
yeah, she was
Interesting.
very upset about hearing about Tiger King 2.
Now I wonder is there a trailer for it?
I
Or
don't.
is it just saying Tiger King 2?
Not yet.
Because I know there was some stuff that came out where the Tiger King guy, I forgot, Joe Exotic, he was trying to petition for to be granted what's that word when they let you out of jail?
A pardon.
Pardon.
Yeah, he was trying to hit up Kim K for that
and
in Trump. yeah.
Yeah, and there was this kind of little movement where they're Trump's gonna pardon Joe Exotic, and I can just imagine he's probably man, fuck this guy. He's the Tiger King. Okay, yeah, and that's so dumb. But I just thought it was funny because there was a lot of people that were oh, it's gonna happen.
He had a limo ready.
Yeah, but this guy's a crazy person.
No, I know.
dude.
Joe Exotic
they're all
had
nuts.
he had a limo ready, all this type of stuff, thinking he was gonna get pardoned, and nothing happened. dude.
I
Good.
mean, he's got a mullet sex appeal. Come on.
I know, but you're talking about a guy who was feeding dudes their drug addiction and fucking them.
Touche.
I mean, straight up.
Actually, one of the guys on the last documentary, I think, died of an overdose or killed
Long-haired
himself
dude.
or something like that. Yeah.
And he was saying that he wasn't actually gay. Well, he's obviously bi if he's sleeping with him, but
Not that guy, though.
no. But that was the other dude.
Yeah,
with
that was
with
another
all-
dude.
So that was the thing I
Screwed
had
up
read.
teeth.
Yeah, that he was pissed because he got his teeth redone.
I know he
But they
actually
didn't-
looks hot now.
But really?
I think.
He the IE special, huh?
Danny, what the fuck?
Wait, hold on.
I grew up out there. Shout out.
First off,
No, but
first off, I did it.
No one's gonna top Chris. Okay. I love you, Chris.
Chris is
Chris,
a
you're an
unicorn.
attractive man. Dude.
Chris
Don't-
is a unicorn. Damn.
Yeah, don't do the IE thing, dude. Keep doing you.
I love me a good cowboy. God.
But what the thing was that he was pissed because they only used the video recordings of him with his dentures out. So he had, because he had 2 teeth in the
He
front.
got them fixed now. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie. When I watched the documentary, I said, you know what? That guy wouldn't be that bad looking if he had his teeth fixed. And he did.
Right.
And he did get them fixed. And I mean, I hate to
still have his
say
long
it.
hair?
He's not that bad. No, we're not.
So
It's
much
the guy with
better
the
if
buzzed
he had
hair.
teeth.
Oh, he did have a buzz head. You're right. Okay.
He had a
I
buzz
got you.
head, which I totally dig, actually. I like the clean cut look. But anyways.
I don't know, man. There ain't enough amount of drugs you can buy me to fucking
Shave your head?
Sorry, dude. No, to be with another dude. It's just me.
Oh,
Whoever you
yeah,
choose is
that
fine.
for sure.
But
For
you
sure.
saying Joe Exotic. I mean, let's just say
Yeah.
in general, like you're like, okay, maybe there's a dollar amount where you're like, if you're not gay, you're like, oh, I'd hang out with that guy. But like Joe Exotic,
Bro.
like that's what he was bringing to the table. He's like, I got all these cats. Ooh, get my
Yeah, but
boyfriend.
okay. The
It's
one
weird.
thing, the one thing about Joe Exotic that always captured me was the fact that his
curls.
It's gross.
the ring he had on his eyelid was hanging on for dear life. Dude. And I always wonder, I'm like, when the fuck is that thing getting ripped out or falling out, dude? It was always like sagging and down here. I'm like,
Agreed. Now
this
that I
guy's
sit there and
trying
think
so
about it.
hard.
Nah, dude.
With his puffy like shirts that were like leopard or purple and green, and he had tucked into his jeans.
He got them pirate shirts going.
Dude, he was
ran
crazy.
for governor in that
I
stint,
know,
and
he
he got
did.
20% of the vote that year.
Wow,
So,
that's impressive.
That's like a
Yeah.
Kanye.
Yeah,
That's
it
like
is
a Kanye vote.
Actually, you know what?
Right.
popular.
Speaking of Kanye, this is the last thing we're going to talk about because we're running out of time. But
Oh,
Kanye,
we got to mention Britney though before we
we'll
leave.
talk about it. You're right. Kanye and Kim are working it out.
They're working it out.
Yeah. Okay.
And he goes by Yee now,
Okay,
apparently.
let's talk about the first part.
God.
Let's talk about- before we go into his new name, do you think they did this as a publicity stunt? I'm kind of falling in that direction.
You know, I didn't even think about that, but she did come out looking like a bride on one of
She
his
did.
shows.
That's why I bring it up. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this might have been a
Either that or
publicity stunt.
she's just like the ultimate ex. It's like, you know what? You fucked up, or maybe not fucked up, but we fucked up together, but I'm still going to support you.
You know that Ray J said her pussy smelled like death?
I can also see that being a bitter thing, though.
Ring that shit.
When I freaking
But then
heard
why did
that,
he keep hitting it?
Because
I mean,
you know,
I don't know if I want to go there.
right.
I'm just gonna say,
Ask me that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Popular.
Because the face, I got it. It's like,
whatever.
Well, when Ray J said that, I died. But on another level, if your pH is off, man, wait a couple days. You know,
right.
let's fix some shit. We'll get there.
doesn't matter what you look like.
How much water have you drank from now in the last 24 hours?
Alkaline.
I mean, she really owes it all to Ray J.
She really does.
All bullshit
She really
aside,
does.
the decision she made to make that video was one of the better things she
Even
probably
her
ever did.
family has admitted it on the show.
Yeah, put him on the map. They gave him a platform.
Yep.
I mean, it's
You know?
true. It's very, very true. I don't know, but he goes by Yee now.
He goes by Yee now,
So they're
apparently.
working it out, huh?
They're
working
trying to work it out.
He's going by Yee.
But wasn't he dating like Bradley Cooper's ex for a quick minute in the middle of that?
I mean, if you're Kanye, you probably date who the fuck you want. I mean,
I feel like that probably goes. He's just like, I'm dating you.
All right.
It's like, okay.
Okay.
Fucking Yee or whatever
Well, hey,
he's
look,
calling himself right now.
he's probably the only artist though that's doing like pre-release shows. What do you call it? Listening shows?
Yeah, like a preview show.
a preview show in stadiums sold out. He's not even fucking performing, you guys, and he's selling it out. He just goes out and walks around and he's fucking doing his thing, jamming to his songs.
Donda
Sold out.
Marie is out right now, guys. But I have heard from like half the amount of people that have listened to it saying it's
Sam.
trash.
Isn't that good?
I don't know. I haven't listened to it.
I haven't.
was waiting for the album.
But I
to
have
release.
heard the part that where he's like Donda. I haven't heard it, but I've just from another podcast that I listened to.
Can I ask you
That's
guys
supposed
something?
to be like his mom's heartbeat.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's deep. He's always been a deep.
He's
son of a
always been
gun,
deep.
dude.
I
You
gotta give
hand
him
it to
that.
dude.
I gotta give that is an artist appeal. I have to give
Yeah.
that to him.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it myself, but I have heard Donda Marie is Seki. But that's
pretty-
just what
So
I've heard.
it's his mother's heartbeat.
Yeah, when I mean, I've heard about it from other people talking about where he says like Donda, like continuously, and that's supposedly her last heartbeat.
You know what? People think that he's kind of off his rocker or crazy, but I honestly think he's a true artist. And
Oh, I
people
think
who are
so.
true artists do come off as a little bit, people say
Nutty.
they're crazy and nutty, but I'm like, no, but that's the beauty of the artist. They're outside the box. You're looking at everything inside these four walls. They're outside those four walls, fucking in the unlimited universe doing their thing, and it's working. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I freaking love that.
I think it's amazing what I mean, obviously, like, huge fan of a lot of stuff he's done. I can still jam to it on my
I like the
workout
old
day.
school stuff.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Yeah.
It's legit.
Jesus walked.
Yeah, that one's legit too. Oh.
I like the wire one.
To
Right
the
down
wire,
to
yeah.
the wire.
No, where I was going with that though is that like it's awesome because that takes, I think, that kind of personality to be able to do something like that. Now, where I'm going with this is that like, can you see like yourself like being able to like sustain like any kind of intellectual conversation for like a period of time with that person, like, especially if it's like a significant other,
Yeah.
right? Because like I feel like at least a lot of like the interviews and stuff, like I get to about 30, 40 seconds and I'm like, this person's just not here. They're not here right now. And they're in like, and every once in a while they'll kind of land something and then they'll go out and like, I tried to listen to the episode of Joe Rogan when Kanye was on there and I was jazzed about it because I was like, they'd been talking about, I said jazzed. I was like,
Hands.
spirit fingers, that thing. But, when it came out, I was like, hell yeah. So I'm going to listen to it. I honestly, like, I couldn't stay engaged with it.
Right.
Because it was just like, this dude is just,
His mind is everywhere.
and it was like, he'd say something cool, and I'm like, okay, what about that?
Right.
And then it doesn't. It goes somewhere else, and then it goes somewhere else, and then it goes somewhere else. And even hearing like Joe Rogan try to like corral what he was talking, and then he would go for like 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Just ranting about something, and then it'd be like, what was that? What happened there? So I imagine him with Kim Kardashian, who I feel like she's on the other end of the spectrum, where she's just like, okay.
I mean, I know she kind of she seems like an idiot, but I personally think she's a lot smarter than she comes off.
I'm not saying she's dumb at all. I'm just saying she sound like
I totally get
like
what you're saying.
Hey, bro, like however you want to put that genre of person. I know what I sound like.
Yeah.
So I'm like I'm a little bit more intellectual than I probably actually sound, but I'm sure she's the same way. But just for face value, seeing how he interacts when he talks, and seeing how she interacts when she talks, I don't know how they could stay together.
I know,
you know
true.
what I mean?
She did appear as like a fucking shadow at the gala, though.
That was weird.
That was weird. But you know what? He does put her outfits a lot. Like he puts them together a lot.
He's like, I'm mad at you. So I'm
Well, did you see when he was performing doing his church services? He had her in like this fucking big old suit, like. You know what I'm
it's fucking hot. I'm taking this shit off.
Speaking of the gala, did you see that the AOC wore
yes.
that said tax the rich at the gala?
Okay, AOC, yes. I think she's fucking ridiculous wearing tax the rich because the person who made that dress owes like $132,000 in taxes.
Stupid.
Can you see the irony? I just love it. But can I tell you guys something funny that
it's not even hiding.
No, what I did on my Twitter before I deleted it, I DM'd her and asked her if she was single and wanted to go out. Swear to God. I never got anything back.
Did she hit you up?
Nah, dude. You imagine dating that crazy bitch? Oh, my God.
No.
Oh,
no. No.
This is how she'd look all the time.
She's like, are you ready for dinner? Hey, Tim, I'm going to pick you up at 8.
Hi, everybody. Yeah. She's fucking crazy. Green New Deal.
I was just going to say, I was like, you want to hear my book, Mike?
Yeah, like,
the Green New Deal.
The Green New Deal. The Green New Deal.
Oh,
Look at my
there.
eyes. The Green New Deal.
Didn't she come out like trying to cover, like pretty much stating the fact that like she was invited? So like, cause the tickets
$30,000
to
right?
be there.
30,000.
Yeah, you're spending like more than that though. That for a whole table, it's even more. So her whole thing was, which I'm not saying she's lying about, but I'm just saying like, oh, well, they invite people every year.
Yeah.
In other words, like a free table, or you don't have to pay that.
It
Whatever.
just-
But still,
Isn't it against what you stand for?
exactly. It's
She's
exactly the opposite.
She's the heartbeat of the oppressed.
The irony of everything.
Come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, the
a little
irony
weird.
of all this. I'm like, bitch, stop.
It was a nice dress. She looked all right. She's done up. She's having a good time. I get it. But it's just like, why would you draw that attention to yourself?
True.
You know what I mean? It's like that would be the scenario where you're like, I've always wanted to do this.
She doesn't know what
So you
she's
just
doing.
go in under the radar? No, she wore like a
she's-
white dress with the big old red letters, like tax the rich.
I mean, like with everything that she's
Except
involved
you
in.
guys. I don't mean anyone here at the party.
But she honestly, from day one, she's been in over her head. She has
Yeah.
no fucking clue what she's doing, dude. I mean,
None of them do.
I think it. It's awesome that a young person went for it, but you need to be prepared for what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And she's lost as fuck, dude. Hit me up though if you fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
What's up?
Hey, look, she was a bartender, and now she's a congresswoman. So, the joke's on everybody else. She figured out how to do it.
Well, hey, before we wrap this up, let's talk about Free Britney, baby.
Woo! Free at last.
Hit that bell. Hit
Free
that
at
bell.
last. Thank God.
We love you,
Britney.
Britney.
It's
Hit me
Britney, bitch. So, this I do know about. Jamie Spears folds, and he gives up the conservative part. Pretty much what we think is it could have come down to where he would have to end up doing time if they found anything sketchy.
Oh, so he backed out.
Yes, that's the real reason why we all think he backed down. Also because of the media, because everybody, all the hashtags. Thank you, Tim. For Free Britney, I think the pressure was onto him, and they did mention something like, if anything's found of like misconduct or abuse, you will be doing time, which is why we think he very much folded with no issues. She is engaged now. Congrats,
for her.
Britney.
Congratulations, Britney Spears.
Yes. She did also go away from her Instagram saying, I'm closing this out. I need some time from social media. Within, I feel like almost less than a week, she was back on social media.
Oh, they can't live without. They need the attention. I mean,
They need something.
Yeah, they're
need
used to that
something.
spotlight and stage.
Was that before or after the butt pictures?
That was actually after
you.
the butt pictures.
It was after.
After the butt
Drop the butt pics and I'm out.
Yes,
that timeline,
she said,
yeah.
I'm out. This is why. Left a whole statement, about her kids, and then bounced. And then, it seems like less than a week later, she's back on. Then the Britney versus Spears documentary is coming out. Britney's not very happy about that, though.
Why? That's
She
what I'm
did
trying to
not
figure out.
consent to it.
Are they allowed to make that without her consent?
I have no idea.
Probably going to make her look bad.
Exactly.
Okay, so
I'm
which
super
platform-
anxious to see
Which
it.
platform is this on?
I think it's Netflix.
Is it because I know
think.
somebody.
Don't heart me on it.
I don't want to say
think.
the wrong platform, but another platform came out with like a little Britney doc. I think I just saw it the other day on my TV.
I mean, she's had one out, which is what
It
started
was
this
recent,
whole thing.
very recent.
Oh,
Very,
okay.
very recent. Yeah. I don't know which one it is, but
Okay.
that's too bad. I mean, I could see why. The poor thing needs to have her own personal life.
So personally, I feel like I'm gonna watch it with a little bit of keep an open mind, because how much of this is really true or on one side versus the other, if she's not happy with the fact that they're releasing this without her consent and so forth. So
I thought you said you were going to watch it with a little bit of alcohol and some other things.
Well,
on
I'm
board.
sure I
was
am.
like, where are we going with
I'm
this?
pretty sure I am.
I'm gonna sit down, have a couple drinks, order a pizza, really set the mood.
Yeah, she went on a different direction. I was like, oh, okay. we're keeping it real. I like that,
I think
dude.
you'd have to, if you already have an opinion of how this show should have gone down, you probably should watch it with a little bit of openness.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you it's gonna, however it has to be filmed to make it interesting, they're gonna film it that way. Like the first episode might be like, she's crazy and shouldn't be trusted. The second one might be like, her dad's an asshole and shouldn't be trusted. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna, that it makes for TV. That's just what they do.
Same with Monica Lewinsky's doc. I can't wait. We
That
need
one
to make
I'm
a
in
party.
on.
We need to make a
Like,
party
oh,
for this.
shit.
A party viewing.
He's like, you can see Bill Clinton. He's like, hey,
I
honey,
did
when's that
not
coming out?
have sexual relationships with that woman.
That woman or that woman or her over there or her over there.
Do you think she regrets? Do you think she regrets that move?
Oh,
No.
I would.
What?
Well, actually, you know what?
hell no.
Let me backtrack.
No, honestly, from give us your point of view as a female.
Mm-hmm.
What she,
I mean, for one, I'd be mortified.
Oh,
I
that's
would be
my thought.
completely mortified that that's like the number one thing I'm
Can you
known for.
imagine if I got caught eating Kamala Harris's ass in her fucking office and just
It wouldn't
blasted?
be the same unless she was the president.
Well, okay, let's
If
say
it was
she's
the president, you're like, I ate Kamala
Touche.
Harris's butt.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. though.
And I'd be like,
If she was president, yeah, if she was
Right.
president, and I
I
got
get it.
caught fucking face deep in her butt cheeks, I would be fucking mortified.
you
Absolutely.
would be super popular though.
Yep.
It's very
You would take this
possible, though.
podcast to a whole new level. So if Joe Biden gets kicked out and Kamala's in, Kamala, we got a guy for you.
Well, I mean, but you got to okay. Let's go back to that time. That's mid to late '90s, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different time.
Yes, it is.
Total different time. Whereas
Can you
now,
imagine if social media was on around that time?
Oh my
But the thing is that wasn't just Lewinsky at the. So okay, so that FX has the show, like the crime series show with like the same thing, the American Horror Stories. You know, they did the one with OJ, then they did the one with Versace, And then they're doing one with American Crime Family or whatever it's done, but it's about the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky stuff. I've watched the first 3 episodes. It's like kind of like a lot. It's like they really are trying to build the suspense, but it's like nothing ever really lands during the episodes. But what it does do is I don't know how much, like I didn't remember a whole lot about it. And all of a sudden these different names are starting to pop up. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Linda Tripp and the Paula Jones.
Oh
and like
shit!
all these,
Yeah.
And
Paula
like, dude,
Dane.
I haven't
there
heard
was
those
this-
names in forever.
Right? And so when I started watching, I was like, oh shit. And I'm thinking to myself, when this happened, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? As far as like, and I'm thinking, oh damn, this fool's just like dicking down all these girls around him, and like just like in and out quick. He's like, hey, you want to touch it? All right, see it. You know. And then months later, these girls are like, he made me touch his penis, and it's like, not saying that that's okay because it's not okay.
Right.
But then it's like, I mean, the fucking president, dude, the president of the United States, there's a power that is wielded from that stance that like no common person's
True.
going to understand.
Well, it's got to
saying-
be mesmerizing, right?
Well,
as an intern working there, and the president's like, yeah. Sam, how about this, Sam? You ready for this?
Kamala Harris.
No, not
Right
even.
now.
No, hear me out. Hear me out.
How do you feel?
Bill Clinton just did his thing with Monica Lewinsky. You're working as an intern at the White House, and Hillary Clinton comes in.
Yep.
Oh, Hillary?
Yep.
Hillary.
Fuck it.
I get a free hall pass. Why don't you come with me to
Fuck it.
my office? No, you would.
Fuck
Damn
it.
pantsuits, huh?
Fuck it. Pantsuits. Fuck it.
Her flak jacket, dude.
Fuck it. Yeah, there's that whole power thing to it too.
Yeah,
You know, it's
and
like-
you're worried about your life.
Right.
It's
like
you're like
your life, your job.
Yeah, I
know
know
what?
number 39. I don't want to be on that list.
Fuck it. Okay. Shit.
Well, Hillary, do I have a choice? Well, no. I could make you suicide yourself, or you could just go over to my office. I'm like, oh fuck.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Just be
I know where
stretching
it
on
is.
the way in. I'll be like, I better put on a good show.
Yeah,
This
my
is last
man.
day in the world here.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Danielle, look at this. She's like, I don't know what to do right now.
Actually,
Just
you know,
kidding.
you know
Nancy,
who's
no, I
getting
wouldn't.
a lot of heat for that and is looking at some long prison time is R. Kelly.
Oh fuck.
Oh, he was convicted yesterday.
Yeah, he
was
was.
convicted,
I'm
yeah.
surprised I didn't put it on the board. But
Finally.
yes, yeah, he finally has been.
He
but,
deserves
like,
it.
Yeah,
He's just
he
sitting
does.
over here pissing and shitting on women and
Oh,
stuff.
no.
Oh, fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, the guy that, Chuck Berry, the guy that did Johnny Be Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like
Was he into all that too?
Dude, there's a video of him like peeing on some like
Oh,
chick.
God.
It was a
Oh,
prostitute that he paid to do it, but like I don't know what it is about the video because it's so awkward. It's just like, and he's like talking to her while he's doing it, and I was just like, one, why am I watching this? But two, I'm like, it's Chuck Berry, dude. I had some zingers in the 60s.
How much porn have you watched and beaten off to that you got to sit here and shit and piss on people to get off?
I was not touching myself to that video.
No, I'm just saying.
You, Jordan.
Get that right out there.
No, I should. I'm saying like
It's like
people
you
who
get
are
it right.
Yeah, people who are people who are into that stuff. It's like, God, how do you get to that point where you need that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, call me old fashioned. I like vagina. Like whatever, dude.
Maybe they like the smell, Tim.
Oh my God.
God.
All right. Well, hey, real quick, I wanted to get one question in because I just thought
One
this one
question.
was super funny.
I like it.
And so this is one of those like marry one, bang one, kill one.
Oh,
But they're not people.
I'm ready.
They're not people.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I thought this was funny. No.
Animals,
So
clothes.
marry, bang, kill. Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts, or Double Dare. You guys all know these shows, right?
Dang.
Nickelodeon?
No, I totally do.
Okay, so Guts, Double Dare, Legend of the Temple.
Legend of the Hidden Temple, yeah.
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Legend-
I would marry Legends of the Hidden Temple.
You would marry Legends of the Hidden Temple?
I would fuck Guts. And what was the third one?
You'd kill
What was the last? What?
Double Dare.
I would kill Double Dare. I was never a big fan of that one.
Really?
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
I like Legend
like
of the Temple because it's kind of dark. Like I like that shit, dude. You gotta like
Touche.
fucking work
I like the
for
thing.
you
It
know?
says Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
I just
man.
picture the like Aztec so-called foam-looking guy, and his lips would move, and I remember thinking like, God, he's got big lips.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
why,
had a
but
blue
that always stand out.
t-shirt. Oh, no, I was into that show. Believe me. I was like,
Blueberry kudos.
Hell
I would also marry that television show. I would, but for me, I would kill Guts and I would marry Double Dare. Or no, bang Double Dare. Because I liked Double Dare and I always thought that I would do good on it if I was ever on that show.
Hell yeah.
Because like I felt like they were just, I'm like, people can't dive through things correctly. They'd just be sliding around and it doesn't matter. But the Gut Show, I don't know what it was about it. I didn't like the host of it. And I don't know who that guy is, and he's probably a great dude, but I felt like he would like try so hard to be intense. You know, like we're down here, you know, they had the kayak one where it was like everyone's trying really hard, but they're going nowhere. Anyway, I just thought that was silly.
Sam.
You know, I haven't seen any of these, dude.
What?
Oh,
She's like, I had a life.
You were, your dad. I mean,
Yeah.
your situation was different.
Oh, big time. Big
Yeah.
time. I didn't know TV when I was younger.
I realized
Yeah.
how strict of a upbringing you were in the more I get to know you.
How do you
Fuck.
realize that? Yeah.
But the more you talk to me, I'm like, what? Do you not know who Hey Dude is?
Yeah, I don't know a lot of shit.
Do you not know who Zeke the plumber is?
One more question. Let's get one more question that Sam can answer. One more
Sam
question.
can answer. Thanks, Sam. My man, give me some, baby. Yeah.
Sam, do you know who Doug Funny is? Please.
I want everyone here to feel
Doug.
loved.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I want
Fuck
everyone
yeah.
here to feel loved, accepted.
Do you know who Thumbelina Crumb is?
Thumbelina?
Yeah.
I don't know who that
I've heard, yeah.
It's
yeah.
Aura
Thanks.
Monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that show. With the
I don't
one with
know,
the
but
armpit hair.
I had a massive crush on Alex Mack.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, turned a little goop on the floor, dude. Sneaking in my
Right?
bedroom. Alex
Oh,
Mack.
that's right.
Yeah,
No,
remember she
sorry, I thought
turned
that
a
was
little-
a sexual innuendo.
No. She
Let's
turned
throw a
into
little goop on the
No,
floor.
remember
I was
she-
like,
Remember she could turn into that like.
Like, are we
radio-
talking about snail trails right
No,
now?
she could turn into. You guys remember the show Alec Mack on
No,
Nickelodeon?
now I remember.
She
Yeah.
could turn to like a radioactive goop that got on her, and she'd go on the floor, and be like, "Girl, be sneaking in my bedroom." You know what I'm saying? No,
disappears.
come on
Yeah,
over.
'cause she could like melt down and then reappear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
right. That's right.
Digging deep for everybody right now.
Yeah.
Real, bro.
Okay, well, here's a question.
Sam's like, I still don't know.
Yeah, bro. Nickelodeon? No. We didn't have cable.
Would you rather have your internet history made public or a sex tape that goes viral?
Ooh.
I'll go sex tape.
I'll go internet history because that's pretty basic.
Really?
Yeah, I'd go internet history. I have no shame with that. Yeah.
Sex tape.
Same. Sex tape.
Yeah.
Dang, is your internet history that dirty?
No, it's great, but you know.
Oh.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, sometimes you get
No,
wild hair, and
but
you
a sex
just start
tape would
searching
be
shit.
right, but it would be crazy. Like, I mean, we're talking about all this sex shit, you know, and how these people blow up.
Is my internet history that boring then?
No, you just have different, you know.
Well, I mean, not all of us look up double fisting, but whatever.
Hey.
Two fists?
What, DP?
How big? How big are these?
She said, "Yeah, so what?"
Well, hey, look, you like what you like. You're comfortable in that, and that's good for you.
Hey guys, I appreciate you all coming on. We're gonna wrap this up, but Sam Kamalafe, Danielle Kravitz, Jordan Jamila, I love you guys. I love these monthly review podcasts. Thank you so much. These are always such a freaking good time.
Spirit hands?
Absolutely. Sorry, I was doing spirit fingers. It's always a good time, dude. They're fun.
Hey, you know what? On one of the last podcasts you did, I think it was with your friend Tony, you mentioned double thumbs. It was for something. I thought that was cool.
Two thumbs.
Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing, and you're like, "That was dumb." And in my mind, I was like, "No, that's pretty. That was exactly what I was thinking."
Well, thank you very much.
I just wanted to give you props
Two
on
thumbs
that.
are in.
Yeah.
Like
All
a
right.
Mentos commercial, always. in
I
my
freaking
head.
love it. I love it.
Guys.
Great job tonight, guys. Let's get a let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Bye, everybody. And that's it. Thank you for listening in, everybody. I'd like to thank our sound engineer who makes this podcast happen and makes us sound very good, Stephen Clark. And to our first sponsor, 89 Barbers. Look good, feel good, be great. Come get your haircut at 2 locations, Long Beach and in Orange, California. Your appointment can be booked at 89barbers.com. That is BARBRERS. 89barbers.com. Again, look good, feel good, be great. Check it out. It's my barber. He is the man. Thanks, everybody. Bye.